Hi, I'm Steve Ruddick. Once again, welcome to Country Music Internet Television, a show about country music, the veterans, the classic country music, and also the new country music. We've got artists every week from Ontario and all over the place, actually, so it's going to be a great night again tonight. We have a couple of guests for you. First of all, I want to introduce you to a guy who's been around a while, but maybe not as long as some of you might think when you meet him. Welcome, Neil Cotton from Georgetown.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for coming
My
to Country
pleasure
Music
to be
Internet
here.
Television. It's great to have you here. Now, the opening question's got to be, when I first met you, I said, this guy's got to be in it since 49, 50 years, 60 years kind of thing. But no, you're a relative newcomer, started a little bit later, and you've been in the music business for 35 years. So tell us, how did you get there? Because it certainly it didn't start when you were in grade 2.
No. I've always had a passion for music. When I was 8 years old, I wanted to play guitar, but my guitar teacher thought I should play a lap steel, and that kind of didn't go so great. When I hit high school, I got rid of the music end of things and pursued athletics, and hockey was my sport, and I went on and played junior and university hockey and senior hockey. And as I was at university, I got a degree and I became a science teacher. So it wasn't until I was about 27 years old that I started getting back into the music, once I knew my hockey career.
So what determined that? What determined that?
Well,
most people do not get there where they want to go.
No.
What was your story?
Well, you get to a certain point and nobody's asking you to try out and whatever. Like, there's a ceiling there, and it's generally defined by talent. Yeah.
As most things are.
Yeah.
So you went back. You said science teaching is not something that I want to spend most of my time at. I want to get back into the music, which was great, and everybody's glad that you did. So how did country music come into play as opposed to anything else?
Well, I mean, Elvis was what I thought back in the day was what country was, like rockabilly, right? I love rockabilly, still love rockabilly. He and Carl Perkins and those folks, right? And the Beatles were up too high in the vocal range for me, and I had listened to Chris Christopherson. I loved his writing. Johnny Cash, I loved his attitude. And so vocally, that's kind of where I was able to perform at that vocal.
So by default, you became a country singer.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. I guess it's by default.
And you put together a group. Where did that group come from?
Well, that group, the first group came out of a backyard party with some squash players. So there's always that. Well, even today, there's the dichotomy of music and sports for me, right? So I still play hockey, and so that's where it started. The first group was called the Racketeers. Boom, 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 boom. And then, it evolved and kept on going along, and played weekends. We used, back in the days that you were playing 4 or 5 nights a week, and that was kind of a grind when you're teaching. And then the bars cut back to 2, and then just one-nighters and that sort of thing. And that's pretty much where we are right now, is one-nighters.
So where are you playing these days?
West End.
In and around Georgetown?
Yeah, Georgetown and the West End of Toronto. And we can do a 5-piece, or we can do a 4 or 3. And my buddy Dave and I, we do 2-piece in senior retirement homes, that kind of thing. That is very rewarding, not financially, but to see these old folks really enjoying and touching the music, it is really something to experience.
And no doubt talking to them afterwards.
Yeah. They've all got a story. Yeah, I remember one older chap, he was sitting at the back of the room, and he came very slowly up to the front, almost like a Tim Conway walk, and he stood in front of this older woman and asked her to dance, and the two of them got up and danced. It was just like high school, it was really something to see.
That's exciting. You need to impact people's lives, isn't it, with music?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, even just last Friday night, people were having a great time, and you could just see it, so.
That's cool. Anything big on the horizon into the next year? Well,
this is big, man. This is big.
it's good to have you on.
Yeah, this is cool.
So how can people follow you when they want to find out?
Well, I'm on
Georgetown?
Facebook. I have a Facebook site, Neil Cotton, NEILCOTTON. So it's, and I have a website as well that I made myself. It's called You Picked Cotton.
You picked cotton?
Yes.
Okay. You picked cotton?
Yeah, tripod.com/Neil. But anyway, you won't remember that, folks, but that's okay.
Now you've been in the biz long enough to have some stories. Some you can tell in public, some you can't. Have you got a story you could tell us about something humorous?
Well, I'll tell you.
Career?
The first song I'm going to do today is called "The Mayor of Old Yonge Street," and I wrote that in early 2000s. And the mayor of Old Yonge Street is Ronnie Hawkins. And I had written this lyric, and I was on one of the very first music chat rooms on the internet. And we got chatting back and forth, and Ronnie was in the hospital and he was sick with a cancer. You may remember that.
Yeah.
And so I said, gosh, I got this lyric and I'd really like him to hear it. And one of the guys said, well, look, I'm going in to see Ronnie tonight. He says, put it on and I will take it with me. So he took it in. And it turned out that this man that I was talking to was Rick Emmett of Triumph fame, right? So Ronnie read the lyric, and Rick came back the next day and he says, for the first time in a long time, Ronnie was speechless. Like he really, really enjoyed the lyric. And so I said, well, I got music to it. And he said, well, what? And they encouraged me to record it. So I recorded it at Liquid Sound in Toronto. Then comes along Ronnie's, is cured, according to this kid from out west, right? It was a distance healing. Anyway, they have a Ronnie Hawkins Day for his name to be put on the Walk of Fame. So CKOC, they played my song, The Mayor of Old Yonge Street. CHR had me on at 5 minutes to 8 o'clock in the morning.
On Morning Live?
On Morning Live, and I performed it. And now the cool part comes. And I had never experienced this before. So I drove into Toronto after that morning show, parked my car down on King Street in one of these high-rise parking areas, and I came down and I'm walking along the street to where the Walk of Fame presentation's going to be, and this guy stops me. Hey man, I really liked your song. Like, out of the blue, this guy in the middle of Toronto stops me. He obviously saw the show. It says, hey, I really liked your song. So, that was...
How satisfying is that?
That is extremely satisfying.
Excellent. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to just go away for a minute. Will you play us a song or two?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll be right back. Neil Cotton, standing by.
Hey guys, Donny Lee here. Going to do a little George Jones for my friend Paul Anthony, and want to do a shout out for his country music internet television. Guys, check out CMiTV with Paul Anthony. Who's gonna fill their shoes? Who's gonna stand that tall? Who's gonna play the Opry and the Wabash Cannonball? Who's gonna give their heart and soul to get to me and you? Lord, I wonder who's gonna fill their shoes. Check it out, CMiTV with Paul Anthony.
You're watching Country Music Internet Television, providing worldwide support and promotion of new and classic country music.
Well, welcome back to Country Music Internet Television. I'm Steve Ruddick, and Neil Cotton from Georgetown with us. And as promised, he's got his song, a tribute to Rompin' Ronnie Hawkins.
The Mayor of Old Yonge Street. In 58, found his fame in 48 days. Brought rock and roll to old T.O. He shook downtown with his mojo. The Lecoq-Tor was his favorite beat, made him the mayor of Old Yonge Street. kiss a babe, a Ronnie rocked across the stage. He loved Ruby, baby, and this Mary Lou. Well, he moonwalked before that Armstrong dude. The look Octo was his favorite beat, made him the mayor of Old Young Street. Well, he played hard, he partied hard. If you can't keep up, you're dismissed smartly. But stick with him, hit the big time, be a rock and roll legend on down the line. The look Octo was his favorite beat, made him the mayor of Old Young Street. When they added to the Rockabilly Hall of Fame, they did not forget that Hawkins name. In days come by, he built a band for you. He sang boldly a time or two. A romping Ronnie, the hawk still soars, but now we're just a little closer to the floor. A look Octo was his favorite beat, made him the mayor of Old Young Street. When they added to the Rockabilly Hall of Fame, they did not forget that Hawkins name. Look, Octo was his favorite beat, made him the mayor of Old Young Street. He's 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 the mayor of Old Young Street.
All right. And you had a chance to play with his group that song, didn't you? When you were in the hospital?
Yeah, when Ronnie recovered from his illness, they released a CD called Still Cruising, and they had the CD released down at the Hamilton Convention Center, is it?
Yep.
I think. And yeah, they invited me to play this song along with the Hawks. So that was the most nervous I've ever been my whole life, I think.
Neil, thank you for being with us.
Well, thank
Great
you
to have you
very
here,
much.
coming in from Georgetown. That's
All right,
awesome.
all the
You
way.
can watch him on Facebook and catch his music in the Georgetown area. Coming up,
Okay.
when we come back in just a minute or so, John Chris Ford to talk music.
You're watching Country Music Internet Television, providing worldwide support and promotion of new and classic country music.
Welcome back to Country Music Internet Television, and with us now from Burlington, just down the road from the Hamilton area, John Chris Ford. And welcome to the show. Good to have you here.
Oh, nice. Thank you for having me.
Now, you kind of have a similar scenario to our previous guest on this show, Neil Cotton, where he didn't start as a young musician and just roll right along and away we go here. You have a bit of a story too in your travels into music. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, yeah, it's got its ups and it's got its downs. A while ago, I had to live that dream and play the shows and do all that, and eventually life happens, kind of beats you down a little bit, and going from there, sometimes it picks you back up, and got married and had children and kind of did the whole daddy thing for forever.
But 7 years.
7 years I took a little break, and wasn't until I wrote a song that I thought everybody really wanted to hear or should hear, or I felt that they should hear it.
What's that one? What was that?
It's called Heaven's Honky Tonk Heroes, and it's all about the past Opry stars.
Okay.
And it's just a little tribute, little throwback tribute. And so I kind of brought that to light, so to speak, and went to the CCMAs and kind of introduced myself to everybody I could possibly introduce myself to.
Right.
And just things started to progress from there, and what was originally just supposed to be a songwriter kind of thing, they kind of pushed me and said, no, you should be the artist, you should be the artist. And I said, okay.
Well, I want to get you to sing a song in a few minutes. Will you do that for us?
Absolutely.
Now, you were in music for a while, played around all over the place, did that kind of thing, wrote some songs, did your own stuff, did some cover stuff. More new country than classic country?
I like both. I like to stay current as much as I possibly can, or even try to be just that one step ahead. and not necessarily meaning that one step ahead takes it to the same route that the current country is going. Sometimes it's that throwback that I think they need, and that could be the next turning point, hopefully, and I can be on board for that turning point anyway.
Right. I'm interested in that 7-year hiatus, because that's long enough for, you've done whatever you want to do, whether it's sports as Neil did, and he finally got into music, but you've done your thing, you're off on doing something else, being a dad, and then spending a lot more time at home, that kind of thing. That by that time, 7 years, the dream would have been gone for that, but that didn't go away, did it?
Yeah, that never went away, which I thought, I'm mature now, married, I have children, I need to be a mature adult and kind of let the dream fade, and I tried, but it didn't let go of me. So with that being said, it just sucked me right back in, and now I'm about to take the next plunge in the next step and go back to live stage performances. So I'm really looking forward to that and being in front of a crowd. So,
because now you're working on your very first CD. How is that?
That is the dream. That's what I wanted when I was 8 years old, and it just took me a really long time to get there, minus a little break. But I had to regroup and find my own thing and my own way and kind of do it my way as opposed to how they tell me this is how we want it done. So
now you're a single performer, and to my mind, that may be tougher than being in a group.
Well, I can tell you it really rattles the nerves.
You got nobody else to blame, right?
That's right. If I mess up, it's on me.
Okay. So what have you been doing lately? Now you've been working on the CD. Have you been playing at all?
Yeah, actually I do a lot of feature spots with different bands like Steel City out of Hamilton. They're really close friends of mine, and beyond them too, there's other bands, Rob Kirkham and Neon Rain, again, really good friends of mine. I've been really lucky over the years to kind of roll with some musicians that are way out of my league, but it just makes me a better
Well, that's what
artist.
helps make you better, to play with better people.
Oh, absolutely.
That's good. And any projects into 2018?
Not booked yet, but we have our live performance coming up on December 8th at the St. George Navy Club, I believe it is, in Cambridge. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked for that. Nervous, but pretty stoked.
That's pretty exciting. And then getting back on the road in the new year.
Absolutely, and then going full swing.
Now, how can people follow you on social media? Have you got a web page or Facebook?
Actually, Facebook seems to be where everybody finds me.
How do they find you? What's your...
Just John Chris Ford on Facebook. I'll pop up for sure. Look for the guy in the cowboy hat.
That's really good. Now then, we're going to, before we get to, now you've been in the business off and on for a number of years. Can you tell us an interesting story that's happened to you?
An interesting, well, I can go way back there. I remember one with an artist named Jamie Warren. He may not remember this actually, but I remember this many, many years ago. They were having a awards ceremony, and it was my first time there, and I kind of was very excited, and Jamie Warren's there, and all these celebrities are there, and I went up to Jamie because a friend of mine was getting ready in the back room, and I had said to him, can I just go back there, or is some security guard going to stop you, or stop me? And he just looked me up and down, looks at me and says, should they? At that point, I kind of a little turning part in my career where I was like, no, they shouldn't. Yeah, no. So it just shows the one of those moments where you just shows someone such as Jamie Warren, who's a very big star for Canada, just so humble and just kind of looked at me like, should they? So that was one point, one thing that I remember from a long, long time ago, and.
Well, that's exciting to get around people like that, and that's a good thing to do for the audience, to get around people who have been in the business longer, done more than you have, and that's going to rub off on you, right?
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, lucky enough, so many years later, folks like Jamie is more than happy to talk with me and chat with me. If I've got silly questions, he'll always answer them.
That's good. Would you be happy enough to sing us a song when we come back?
Absolutely.
Okay, John Chris Ford, when we return.
You're watching Country Music Internet Television, providing worldwide support and promotion of new and classic country music.
Welcome back to Country Music Internet Television, and with us, of course, is John Chris Ford from Burlington. Now, when we talked earlier, you talking about a song that you had written, and it was kind of your inspiration to get rolling back into music. I think that's how it
Yeah,
went.
that's
Would you do that one for us?
Absolutely.
Would you?
It's my favorite song. Not,
And what's it
not
called?
because
And a
I
little
wrote
bit
it.
about it.
Well, it kind of goes back about 10 years. And I had started kind of playing with this idea of, after we started losing so many iconic country legends, I just started thinking, wow, like, how come the radios don't play those songs more? Like, let's play those songs more. They're so good. And the song kind of got shelved for about 10 years, almost to the day, actually, when I pulled it out. But I kind of pulled it out, and at that point, a lot of other celebrities have also passed in that 10-year gap. And it just wrote itself after that.
And it's called?
It's called Heaven's Honky Tonk Heroes.
So here we've got a new country guy getting back to classic country. Go ahead.
All right. Can hear the echo through our city streets. Another legend's in the ground. The world's a shock and the pain cuts deep. We'll sure miss those southern sounds. So DJ, play them old tunes, drop the needle back. Play all the memories of our country's past. Like it's only make-believe and Folsom Blues. I'm a rambling man and he stopped loving you. I walk the line, I go down them country roads, fall to pieces every time. Heaven's honky tonk heroes. Yeah, the Opry, it still remains. Different faces and different names. They still bend them guitars, they still pour it out. But I thank the Lord for the ones we still have now. But I miss only the lonely, damn my cheating heart. Pink carnation and a hot rod Lincoln car. Put on your bobby socks, baby, bought those rainy nights. You were always on my mind, Heaven's honky tonk heroes. Are you lonesome tonight? Baby, don't close your eyes. Meet me in Montana, yeah. Only the lonely, damn my cheating heart. Pink carnation, a hot rod Lincoln car. Put on your bobby socks, baby, bought those rainy nights. You were always on my mind, Heaven's honky tonk, Heaven's honky tonk, Heaven's honky tonk heroes. Play those honky tonk heroes, my honky tonk heroes. So play those honky tonk heroes.
All right. Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Well,
That
I'm
was my
glad you came
favorite.
in. I'm glad you came in.
Thank you very much.
have lots of fun finishing off the CD, and we'll look to see you back on the trail again. Again, how can folks find out what you're doing?
Oh, easiest way, follow me on Facebook. I'm kind of all over Facebook, so you'll find me no problem.
Okay. John and Chris Ford from Burlington, thank you very much for being here tonight. And again, for those of you watching, also appreciate you being with us tonight as we spotlight a local country music people in Ontario. And there's certainly a wealth of talent. We'll have more for you next time around. You can follow us on social media, Facebook, YouTube, at CMiTV, which of course is Country Music Internet Television. We'll see you the next time.